This morning, as I speak to you, all of us in our diocese are together in our eagerness to regather and to begin to have church services in our church buildings very soon. This is true of every congregation in the diocese, whether it's a large one or a small one, whether it's an urban one or a rural one, whether it's in a city or on an island. All of us want to continue with the process of regathering in church. We've just issued some guidelines which are pretty clear, I think. They have to be detailed to some extent because this is a complex issue in which, while we want to regather as quickly as possible, we know that we must exercise caution and care for one another, care for our families, our friends, our neighbors, our guests, and remain in accord with the government standards wherever we live. Right now, we're all in phase one of reopening. So just 3 or 4 quick points about what that means for us. First, it means that we can resume worship as long as we watch the number of people in church. And remember, that includes worship leaders as well as a congregation. And as long as we maintain social distance and the other rules and protocols that we've all been talking about for the last couple of months for public worship. Ministry groups from outside the church can now begin to come back into the church for their meetings if they're obeying the guidelines. That's up to the rector and the clergy and the lay leadership of the parish, but they, as well as congregational ministry groups, can now reassemble and return to their ministry. We live in a place with a beautiful climate. Remember that outdoor worship is always an option for us in virtually every month of the year, and I know a number of us right now are doing that, being imaginative and trying some new things in different ways. Outdoor worship is a great option for all of us. And remember finally that we all need to be mindful of which phase of reopening we're in. Right now we're all in phase one, but hopefully moving on before too many days or certainly weeks to phase two. Read your newspaper, talk to people in the county government, look at the computer, and make sure of what phase your county is in before you move on. But once your county's in that phase, you are free to move there. The guidelines that we've issued give you that permission. I hope that you all will take time to tune in to this week's Faithful Friday audio. This week I'm talking about what it means to remain faithful in a time of suffering. And I think each of you may find that to be of interest and spiritual use at this particular time in our lives. I'm going to close now by reading you portions of Psalm 121 and 122 that are especially pertinent to where we are. I lift up my eyes to the hills, from where is my help to come? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. He will not let your foot be moved, and he who watches over you will not fall asleep. The Lord himself watches over you. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The Lord shall preserve you from all evil. It is he who shall keep you safe. The Lord shall watch over your going out and your coming in from this time forth forevermore. I was glad when they said to me, "Let us go to the house of the Lord."